Howdy, Full Metal Cowboy. Straight shooting a review of Rick and Morty Season 3. For this review, I'm not going to be drinking any beer. I think the first two Rick and Morty reviews I did deserve to have a sight gag of me drinking alcohol just for shits and giggles. But for this review, no, I don't think this review deserves one. Over time, as Rick and Morty was airing, the show got very popular. And it's quite evident when Season 3 aired, especially one particular thing that happened during the airing of Season 3. And wouldn't you know, Season 3 actually started on April Fool's Day as a surprise airing of a Season 3 premiere. Now, the rest of Season 3 was aired months later. The only one that stood out in regards to April 2017 was just the Season 3 premiere. I can imagine some viewers got a kick out of seeing a new episode of Rick and Morty. I bet people were like, holy shit, it's a new episode of Rick and Morty! Season 3 is here! Until they realize they have to wait until more episodes come out for Season 3 months later. Wubba lubba dub dub. And then something special happened. McDonald's caught wind of the McDonald's reference when back in 1998 they were offering Szechuan sauce to promote the film Mulan. At least according to Rick and Morty. Well, they actually did offer the sauce back in 1998 to promote the film Mulan. Kind of obscure trivia to be referenced in Rick and Morty, but okay, if that's what the show's creators want to do, then more power to them. And as a response to this reference contained in the Season 3 premiere of Rick and Morty, McDonald's offered a limited time and limited supply of what Rick calls Mulan teriyaki dipping sauce, or just simply Szechuan sauce. After McDonald's announced this, many Rick and Morty fans went to multiple McDonald's in droves to try out the sauce that Rick Sanchez was raving like a madman about. And then the limited supply ran out. And fans rioted over the lack of supply of the goddamn Szechuan sauce. This was the most embarrassing moment I have ever heard of when it comes to the Rick and Morty fan base. And the thing was, I was not even a fan yet. And I actually tried out Rick and Morty after hearing about this whole damn fiasco. So I did. I wondered, is this show really fucking stupid? Or is it actually just as fun as some fans claim it to be? Well, you already know the story. I actually am a fan of the show. I have a lot of fun with it. But I am not someone who would label himself as a super crazy obsessed fan like most of these people are when it came to the fucking Szechuan sauce. I have a friend that works at McDonald's, and she was working at McDonald's when this fiasco happened. And she did not take the behavior of these crazy fans lightly. She was really upset at them at how they behaved when the supply ran out. So I can see why she has a bit of a disdain for the Rick and Morty fan base. Yet I'm a fan of the show as well. The difference is I'm not super crazy obsessed with Rick and Morty, and I'm not really in such a hurry to try out the Szechuan sauce. I actually tried out Szechuan sauce from a restaurant at a hotel that I previously stayed at back in 2018, and I actually really liked it. I would imagine that the McDonald's Szechuan sauce really isn't the real deal. I can see why fans would want to go to McDonald's and try out that Szechuan sauce that Rick Sanchez was talking about, because Rick Sanchez loves that Mulan teriyaki dipping sauce. But there are other ways to make the damn sauce, for crying out loud. You can go online and look up a recipe to create Szechuan sauce. Chances are you would make a much better recipe than what McDonald's offers. After observing fan behavior for a number of years, I know with any large fan base that there is definitely going to be a group of toxic and or obnoxious fans. And Rick and Morty definitely has those kind of fans in there. But not all of them are toxic and or obnoxious. There are some fans, like myself, who are quiet about it, but do find great enjoyment in it. I have a friend named Brogan who loves Rick and Morty. Probably maybe a little bit more than I do. Would it hurt anyone if I was rewatching Rick and Morty from time to time, or buying Rick and Morty on Blu-ray, or buying a couple Rick and Morty t-shirts, or cosplaying from Rick and Morty? Probably not. As long as I remain calm and not act like a jackass, I don't think it's gonna hurt anyone. Besides, if I went out in the public and shouted, "Wubba wubba dub dub!" that would make me a total douchebag in public, and I would also embarrass myself as well as anyone that would be with me. And there would be a very good chance that someone would be mad at me if they were present alongside me. Now, I would not want that to happen. I would like to talk a little bit about the Season 3 premiere's final scene where Rick is rambling about the Szechuan sauce and why he loves the fucking sauce so much. I can sit through Rick rambling about Szechuan sauce just fine. And that's because I actually like the scene. I think it's kind of funny. But this is embarrassing. Now, while I do greatly enjoy Rick and Morty as a television show, I do think Season 3 is weaker than the first 2 seasons of Rick and Morty. But I do think Season 3 is a good season overall, just not as strong in quality than the first 2 seasons. And yes, I'm aware that the show had female writers this time around for Rick and Morty Season 3, but because they're women wasn't really the reason why the show was dipping in quality. Maybe the way they wrote some of these episodes did cause the show to dip in quality, but not because of their gender or anything like that. I didn't see much of a feminist agenda shoved into Rick and Morty all of a sudden, or some other SJW bullshit. None of that I didn't see much in Rick and Morty Season 3. There is an episode where we have a therapist given great focus in the end of one particular episode that felt like a massive exposition dump that was so unnecessary because I would have picked up on the same shit that she was saying if I was paying close attention. And I felt like some of the spoon feeding in Season 3 was why the show was dipping just a little bit, and why I refused to give Season 3 of Rick and Morty a 10 out of 10. However, there is one episode in particular in Season 3 that Dan Harmon himself considers the worst episode of Rick and Morty, and I heard some mixed responses about this episode in particular. I liked what they were parodying, but I did not like how they resolved the end of the episode. And I'm referring to the Vindicators episode. I felt very mixed about this as well. I like the parody, minus the Saw jokes, but I hate the ending of this episode because it comes the fuck out of nowhere, and that's about it. While Rick and Morty Season 3 has what I consider the weakest episode in the entire show, it also contains one of the best episodes of the series, Tales from the Citadel. As for the rest of Season 3, it's what I would expect out of Rick and Morty. At least the show has 70 more episodes confirmed after it got renewed, so I guess we're going to be here for a while when it comes to Rick and Morty. I'm going to be shooting an 8.5 out of 10 for Rick and Morty Season 3. And my overall rating is a 9.5 out of 10 for Rick and Morty. I can imagine the wait for Season 4 is quite agonizing at this time, and I can feel for some of the fans out there, so wubba-lubba-dub-dub until Season 4 arrives. I'll be reloading for my next review, so until then, I'll see you later.
I'm Pickle Rick! Shut the hell up!
I may be done talking about Rick and Morty, but I do want to talk about when I had that chicken appetizer with Szechuan sauce. It was delicious, but it was also spicy hot as fuck. Now, you know what? I'll make fun of that scene at a later time. Maybe when I'm actually eating something with the sauce. Not yet. And to be honest with you, if McDonald's really did bring back the sauce, I'm not in a hurry to get it. I can just go online, get some ingredients, and make my own damn Szechuan sauce. Maybe by then I'll get myself some chicken McNuggets and dip some of those into my own recipe. you know, I may try that for a future Rick and Morty review. But, I'm still waiting for season 4.